Okay, this is a screencast for the Google Form assignment. First thing you're going to do, step 1 here, says create a form through your Google Drive. Make sure to title the form. Also select your theme by going to the top and clicking change theme. Alright, so you're going to go to your Google Drive and you're going to go to new, well actually let me go to my main drive, new, and then you'll go down to more, and then you'll select Google Forms. So the first thing you're going to do once you get into the form is you're going to title it. For mine, I'm just going to use Mrs. Mason's sample form. So that's going to be the title of the form. So when I send it to the people that I want to take the form, that's what they'll see as the title. And then the other thing I asked you to do was in step 1 is to change the theme. So if you go to the top, you'll see here where it says change theme. Go ahead and select that. And you can see on the right here, if you scroll down, there's a bunch of different themes you can choose from. So find one that's suitable for your needs. I'm just going to go ahead and select this watercolors one. I've selected that. And now that I've gotten my theme, I can go ahead back to where it says edit questions, next to where it says change theme, and I can start adding in my questions. Okay, step 2 says step 2, at the top of the form, click on View Responses. A pop-up will appear. Select Create. So if I go back to my form, right here is where it says View Responses. You're going to select that. Now yours, mine's a little different, but yours should have a pop-up that will appear on your screen, and it will say, it'll give you the option to select Create. Go ahead and select Create, and then you are done with step 2. Step 3 says you will be creating 4 different types of survey questions, and then it gives you a breakdown on how each one of those questions should be set up. For the first question, select a text question. This question should be, what is your first name? So I'm going to go back to my form. So right here where it says question title, that means that's your first question. So when it says untitled questions, we're going to delete that, and we're going to enter in our first question, which we said should be, what is your first name? Question mark. Don't worry about this help text bar here. We don't do anything with that. And here's your question type. By default, it's set on multiple choice. You need to change that. In this case, you want to make it an open text box so that they can type in their own first name. And then this just shows you what their answer will look like. And at this point, we don't do anything with the advanced settings, and we're not going to worry about the required question part either. We're going to go ahead and hit done. So here is our first question. Now we're going to hit add item so we can do our second question. If we look at the assignment details, we're here. It says your second question is a multiple choice question. If you are having problems coming up with ideas for your questions, you can scroll down to this yellow section and click on this link. I'm not going to do it for the sake of time, but you can click on this link and you should be able to get some different ideas for questions. Okay, so I'm going to go back for mine. So again, question title, I'm going to put in something that has that you can give the people that are taking your survey, you can give them choices. So in this case, I'm going to say, what's your favorite pizza place? Okay, notice how by default it's multiple choice. I'm going to go ahead and start entering in the different selections. So they could choose Papa John's. I'm going to click here. They could choose Pizza Hut. They could choose Domino's. They could choose Donato's. Let's see, about La Rosa's. Okay, so there are so many different choices. You want to give them a good variety, but then because there are more options out there, such as Dewey's, you're not going to have time to list them all. List the main ones that you think people will choose from, and then select Add Other. And then this will give them the option of selecting Other and selecting their own choice. We're going to go ahead and hit Done. So there's our second question there. Our first question, our second question. Go back to the instructions. It says your third question is a scale question. So scale questions are kind of like on a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you like something? So in this case, I'm going to hit Add Item. And question title, I'm going to say, how much do you like pizza? Question mark. And then I'm going to move this from multiple choice to scale. I usually keep my scale from 1 to 5 because it's pretty easy to work with, but you can go up if you want, all the way up to 10. But like I said, I'm going to keep mine at 5. And my number 1 is going to be hate it, which means they hate pizza if they select a 1. And my number 5 is going to be best food ever, meaning it's their absolute favorite. And then they can, pick in between 2, 3, or 4 to kind of give it a scale. All right, and then finally, your fourth question, you have an option to choose between the following: a text, checkboxes, choose from a list, paragraph text, date, or time. I'm not going to go over all of those to save time, but if you read these, it will give you an idea of what each one of those means. So I'm going to go ahead and do Add Item. I think for this one, I'm going to do a date question. And I'm just going to say, when is your birthday? Okay, and then like I said, I selected date already and includes the year. And then they'll just be able to enter in their response there. I'm going to go ahead and hit Done. If at any point you made a mistake to a question, let's say I spelled something wrong here, I decided I wanted to add something, you can hover over the question. Notice how it selects it, and you can click on the Edit option here, and it will let you go back in and edit that question. If you want to delete a question, you can hover and hit the trash can, or if you want, let's say the order of your questions matters, you can also click and drag to change the order of your question. So like you can see, I just moved up the pizza question. Okay, at this point you are done and you are ready to send your form. You are on step 4 that says when you're finished inserting your questions, scroll down to the bottom of your form. Make sure that both show link to submit another response and publish and show link to the results of this form are checked. This part is very important. So this one is already checked by default. You need to make sure to select that one. And then go ahead and hit Send Form. At this point, number 5, you are going to click on our email spreadsheet. You should be familiar with that by now. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to display all of the email addresses on here, but you're going to click it and you're going to copy and paste those email addresses right here. So you open up the spreadsheet, you should click on the first one, drag all the way down, copy, and then you'll go here and you'll hit Paste. In this box here, you can say something like, hey everyone, please take my survey. Thanks. And then you will hit Send. Okay, now that you've sent your form, you are on step 6. Basically, with step 6, you're going to be waiting for people to respond to your form. But while you do that, you'll need to go to your Gmail, and you will need to open up, you'll be getting 20 plus forms because you're going to be getting one from each person in the class, and you need to answer all of their forms. So to do that is you'll see the person's name, you will open up their form. Do not take the form from this page here. You want to scroll down. Actually, Okay, sorry about that. As I was saying, do not take the form from this part. You actually want to click on the part that says fill it out online. Sometimes it doesn't work properly if you take it from the email, and you want to fill it out from here. And then you'll hit submit, and then you'll go back and continue taking the surveys. Now, when you want to check and see how many people have taken your survey, and if you're ready to turn it in, you're going to go back to your drive. Something that Google does that I really like is they automatically create responses, a spreadsheet that will fill in the responses to your form. So here's my initial form. Remember I titled it Mrs. Mason's Sample Form? Well, Google created this. It says Mrs. Mason's Sample Form Responses. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I can see that so far 20 people have taken my form. So this is not the part that you want to turn into Edmodo. Let me go back to your instructions real quick. So step 7 was the step that it says open the form responses spreadsheet that was automatically created in your drive. That was this part that I just told you about. And then step 8 says once you've gotten at least 20 responses, look at the summary of responses by going to the top of the page and clicking on Form Show Summary of Responses. So from my spreadsheet, I've got at least 20. I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to click on Form, and then I'm going to click on Show Summary of Responses. This is the actual part that I want you to turn in. Google took all of your responses and displayed them nicely into charts and graphs. So we can see easily how much people like pizza, what's the favorite pizza place. We can easily see the birthdays. Alright, let me go back to your instructions here. So we just did number 8. Number 9 says you will use the summary of responses to type up a data analysis of the data you collected. Create a Google Doc. Make sure to title it Data Analysis. Type a brief analysis of your data for each question. Here is the example of data analysis. Okay, so you can go ahead and read this on your own. So again, basically you're going to be submitting 2 things. You are going to submit the link to this sheet right here. So you're going to click that and you're going to copy that and you're going to turn that into Edmodo. And you're also going to submit the link to your summary of responses, which is going to look like this. You're going to say, well, we all did the same first question. We all said, what's your first name? So you can skip that one. But you might say, for my second question, I asked, what is your hair color? The majority of the class has brown hair. This is a breakdown of the data that you discovered. So you're going to create a new Google Doc, and you're going to give a summary of your data analysis for each of your questions, and you're going to turn that in with the link to this. So you'll be turning 2 links in again, both to Edmodo. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. Good luck.